Hello, everyone. My name is LaChon with Life Hypnosis, and today I would like to talk to you guys about something that's actually very, very important. And I don't see anybody who has talked about this just yet. So I want to share with you guys my story when it comes to dating narcissists and sociopaths. And this video is going to be especially important for those of you who are parents, for those of you who have someone who's a middle school age or even in high school. If you know someone who is young, who has a child, go ahead and share this video with them, talk to them about it, because this is just something that is very important. So, my first experience with a narcissist was actually when I was in middle school. I was 13 years old. And what happened was I was on AIM one day, so I'm kind of dating myself, but I was on AIM, and this guy from my middle school ended up messaging me. And this guy was like someone who was very attractive at that time, so like he looked rather manly for us to be kids. He was tall, he was popular, and he was single now. He had just gotten out of a relationship. So he started showing me all kinds of attention, and it was very flattering at the time. So after talking to this guy for a little while, we ended up becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's kind of where it all went downhill. So once we were boyfriend and girlfriend, of course, he was nice and great at first. And please keep in mind that this is all going on during middle school. So he was very nice and charming at first, when we were first talking and when we first got together. And then after a little while, things started to change. I noticed that, he started calling me names. He started talking to me in a foul way. He wanted to monopolize my attention. My grades suffered. I went from, A's and B's to D's and F's because I was spending so much time wrapped up in the situation. So that's, kind of a sign too, if the child that you know or your own child goes from really good grades to all of a sudden not good grades. That's a sign that perhaps you should talk to your child about what is going on. The interesting thing is, I didn't really know how to communicate all this when I was younger because I didn't know what was going on. But I wish now that I would have came to my parents and told them what is going on. But of course, when you're that young, our parents usually don't want us to be dating anybody. So I did not feel like I can go to my parents. So it's really important to open up that communication avenue with your kids and let them know that they're not going to be punished if they are dating someone at a young age. Because if it's just a middle school date, it's like you date for like a week anyway and then you break up, it's nothing serious. But again, it's really important to talk with your child about these things, because if my parents and I would have talked about it, that likely wouldn't have gone in the way that it did. So again, after a little while, I noticed that he started calling me all kinds of names. He started, becoming kind of mean, and I was always crying. I remember I was always crying. I remember there was one day when I just said, I'm not going to talk anymore. And I just like didn't talk for like hours, and people were like, what's going on? And I was just like, I don't want to talk to anybody. So it's like there were different behaviors that happened. He wanted me to always write him notes in class. So I'd be in class and, I wasn't paying attention because I was so focused on this person. He was kind of, controlling, but at the time I was a kid. I didn't know any better. The fortunate thing is that is the time, that is the age when we are developing our self-esteem and our self-perception. So that caused me to look at myself in a certain way. So there were some things that I'm not even going to get into here that happened with him and I, and it ended up, really being challenging. It just caused a lot of problems in my life. It caused a lot of strife between my parents and I, because again, they didn't really know what was going on with me. So they just saw the symptoms from the outside, and the symptoms from the outside were, okay, she's acting out, she's lying, her grades went down. So it's like at one point, I was grounded for a really long time because of the situation that happened. My parents and I, it's like we didn't get along. It was just a really, really challenging time, and it kind of took over my life. So after that, I ended up going to high school. And of course, this person was at my high school. And by that time, he already had a girlfriend who was pregnant, and we were 14 years old. Now, I find this very interesting. For 10 years, I did not date men. The girlfriend that he had before me does not date men, she dates women. The girl who he dated after me only dates women. So as I'm talking about this, let me give you guys just this precaution here, I guess. This doesn't happen to everybody. This isn't everybody's story regarding their sexuality. You know, some go through trauma, some don't. So please do not blanket the statement and perceive this and project this on every person who's LGBT plus, because again, that's not how it happens for everyone. This is my experience, not the experience of everyone else. So if you have somebody, if you know somebody who's LGBT plus, you know, don't assume that this is what happened. Just love them for their experience and love them regardless. Okay, so that being said, I found it so interesting how there was this pattern between us women. And I realized that this situation had caused so much trauma. I did not date men because in some way, in some unconscious way, I was afraid that if I did, I was going to have that same experience, or I was going to have that same trauma. So I am saying all this to say that, again, it's very important to open up a dialogue with your children about what is going on, about their friends, about who they're dating, and not in a judgmental way. Make it open so they can come to you about things. And that's how you can avoid what happened with me, because no child should go through anything like that. And really, it affects you. It can affect you for the rest of your life. When I went into high school, I became like a really dark person. I was just a really dark person. It's like I was not happy with life. I was very, very depressed. I was very, very depressed. And it's like my identity, you know, I had a difficulty developing my identity because I had so much trouble with this situation that I thought that I was less than who I am. People are predators. There are predators in your child's school. There are predators that could be in your child's class. I even know some teenage narcissists. So it starts at a very young age. So again, be mindful and be aware of this so your child doesn't experience the same situation that I went through, that other people went through, because it's not fair for your child, and you don't want your child to experience this for the rest of their lives. So this is my cautionary tale to parents, to those who have a young child in their family member, in their family, anybody who knows a child, and maybe you have a neighbor, you know, that's a child. Share this video with them so they know the signs to look for, so they can benefit from it. Oh, that is what I have for you guys for right now. Thumbs up and like this video. Comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Sending you guys so much love and so much light. Mwah. Bye for now.